Hello everybody, we're here in St Mark's Church with Melanie Houston, who many of you will know, and on Tuesday of this week, just a few days ago, Melanie was commissioned as a diocesan reader by our bishop in a special service down in Dromore Cathedral. And I know some of you have been praying, or we have been praying for Melanie as a church, as she for that service and for everything that will come from that. So we just thought I'd take a few moments to ask Melanie after that service, and now as you see her all officially commissioned, just to tell us a wee bit about what it was that brought her to this point and what she's looking forward to. So I'll begin with that question, Melanie. Tell us, how did you come to offer yourself for training as a diocesan reader?
Well, if you'd asked me 5 years ago when I first came to St Mark's, if I'd ever be sitting here in all this get up, I would have said, no way. But it was about November 2018. There was a piece on the diocesan Facebook page about training to be a diocesan reader. And my initial response was, no, that wouldn't be me. But it kept coming back, and every day the first thing that popped up as soon as I opened Facebook was this thing about being a diocesan reader. So through my working life, I became aware that every so often I would get a wee tap on the shoulder that I called the heavenly finger poke, and it might just have been to do with a patient who appeared to be fine and all was going well, but just a tap on the shoulder to do a blood test or to get an x-ray. And I've learned to recognize it, and I started thinking this was a tap on the shoulder again. So I came down and spoke to the rector, and I spoke to Russell, and I prayed about it, and then I went forward for the interview for selection and ended up down in Dublin starting my training. And that was in February 2019. So then we had all the excitement of going down to Dublin, which of course ended when COVID started. And we had to do the rest of the course by Zoom. And that was quite an adventure as well. But it has been really an experience and an enjoyment as well, even though it was hard work at times.
And now all that hard work has in one sense has passed, and you've done your assessments and been interviewed. And as I say, on Tuesday night, it was at a fantastic service. We were able to see you and pray for you as you were commissioned along with 5 others for service down in Dromore. So now that you're beginning this ministry officially, Melanie, as it were, what are you looking forward to?
I think one of the main things I'm looking forward to is being involved in the ministry of the church. When this all started, if anybody had said to me about preaching, my attitude to that was never. Because the last time I preached, I was 12 years old, and it was at school in an RE class. And our teacher had said that you got to heaven by good works. And I stood up and told him he needed to be saved and read Isaiah 53 and gave a wee impromptu sermon. And that didn't go down very well with him or anybody else. And that was the end of my preaching career. So I think, despite myself, I've discovered that there is it's not about me. And whenever you take part in a service, whenever you do a reading, whenever you do the prayers, whenever you lead a service, it's to do with the Lord. It's nothing to do with yourself. And I'm looking forward to taking part in that. I'm looking forward to meeting people properly. I'm looking forward to getting to know people better. But I also know that I have an awful lot to learn. It's a bit like, as I said to Russell, it's a bit like ending up as a surgical registrar in a country hospital, and you're just newly hatched and your feathers are still all wet, and I still feel like that. So be patient with me and pray for me, and pray for wisdom, and pray for the fact that that God will be able to use me despite myself, and I just want to thank everybody for all the care and support and love that I've known since I came to this church.
Thank you, Melanie. Thank you for taking that step and responding to God's nudge, that heavenly finger poke. And we're really excited that you have taken that step and that you're going to be involved in the ministry in this particular way. We're looking forward to seeing you in that role and all that God's going to bring to us and to the church here in St. Mark's through you. And we pray that you'll know that blessing as He uses you and blesses you in that as well. Thank you for taking the time again to talk to us today, and we'll be continuing to pray for you and for all who minister in whatever way and who serve God and God's people here in St. Mark's.